The release date is probably the #1 biggest topic for the finals on Reddit, the Discord, YouTube, and everywhere it is being discussed. I wanted to explain why Embark is in such a perfect position to release this game within the near future. Before I get into my reasoning, comment below what you think the release date is, or even a time frame you think that they're going to release it at. The FPS genre as a whole has been pretty stale lately. If you're like me and you love playing shooters, then you are likely in the same boat as me, not enjoying new games and often playing games that were released more than 5 years ago. Lately, the genre has been basically just flop after flop, and the movement shooter category specifically is struggling. Now, I want to talk about some games as of recently that I think point towards the direction that the industry is going for FPS genres, and the reason why I think the finals is in such a good position right now. Battlefield 2042. An obvious comparison here, as Embark is made up of a lot of ex-Battlefield developers. Now, 2042 has bad reviews and only recently gained popularity with their discounts and big updates, with roughly 25,000 current players on average on Steam and an all-time peak of 107,000. Compare that to the finals that peaked at 267,000 during an open beta. Keep in mind, a lot of people that I've talked to about the finals have never even heard of the game, let alone even knew that it was in beta. And this goes to show that this game just has massive potential to grow from here. Modern Warfare 3, despite how negatively reviewed this game has been, it is actually setting records for player engagement. Reviewers have complained about how bad the campaign is, and the game as a whole not delivering a good experience. We know Activision, and we know they will release the same game every year and still break records. The market as a whole has been itching for a new movement shooter, something that can replace Call of Duty for those that have been dedicated to the series while still hating it. I think there's a massive population of players who are playing games they hate just because they have nothing better to play. X-Defiant is a game that was meant to be the COD killer, and it seems to just keep getting delayed. When I researched it, I often see arguments online about the quality of the game, the readiness to release it, and whether or not it will be better than Call of Duty. While this game has potential, the delays give a window for the finals to release first and grab the attention of all those players that are sitting in the waiting room for X-Defiant. Overwatch 2. I don't think anything needs to be said about this that hasn't already been said a million times. They failed at releasing a game they already had released. Speaking of releasing the same game, Counter-Strike 2. This release has divided the community. Some say they should have kept CSGO up, others say that they are happy with CS2. One thing we can all see is that CS2 released with less content than CSGO. The lack of community maps that are functioning, the cheater accusations, the subtick issue on release, the lack of maps, and many other issues and bugs that have been slowly getting addressed and fixed. It feels like the game may have been released a bit too early, especially a release that replaced CSGO, which was at a relatively good state. Although the finals is not a tax shooter, I feel like Counter-Strike players waiting for CS2 to fully update would be more than likely to hop on for a new free-to-play shooter and could potentially get sucked into the intense competitive atmosphere that the finals delivers. BattleBit, a game released in 2023 that shows Battlefield-type games with classic mechanics, good destruction, and a good server can succeed. A small dev team that focused on giving a quality game that players wanted without overcomplicating things. All this shows to me is that there are games like the finals that players want. This is not a genre that is dead, and it seems like a lot of these AAA developers seem to not believe in it anymore, but I think it's just the failures within AAA devs that has really let this genre down. The finals honestly is delivering exactly what people are wanting out of this type of genre. Multiplayer shooters as of recently have been getting cancelled like Hyenas, Hyperscape, The Cycle Frontier, Super People, and Blood Hunt, even though Blood Hunt still is up, but it is planned to shut down. We've also gotten games that just simply never got a bigger player base like Shatterline. Unfortunately, a lot of developers are simply chasing trends. So many games are battle royales or extraction shooters. You also see a lot of like COD clones. Very few devs are coming up with new ideas, so it is very refreshing to see games like the finals put out a game where people are struggling to label it. A common thing I hear when someone describes the finals is it's like this game mixed with this game and a bit of this game and that game. People always love a simple comparison when describing games, but it's so hard to do that with the finals. Embark created something new and people have noticed. PUBG was a big trendsetter way back in the day for the Battle Royale genre as a whole. Now this can be debated whether this was truly the first BR, but PUBG certainly had one of the first big impacts on the genre. The finals is setting up to be the next big thing within the FPS genre as a whole, as they've created a formula that's very different than what we've had before, while also being familiar enough to understand. With the successes and overwhelming failures within the FPS genre, we can look at the common trends of why games seem to be failing. Embark is on a path that could very easily set them aside to be the next big game within the genre. From my own personal experience and after sinking so much time into the betas, I would say this is one of the most addicting gameplay experiences I have ever experienced. In the most current state of the beta, I would already call this my main game. This personally matches up with everything I look for in a shooter: an objective-based game mode, fast-paced movement, teamwork-oriented, a slower time to kill, custom classes, and a sandbox environment. I understand it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but we can see that from the open beta, the interest in this game is skyrocketing, and the reviews on the game are overwhelmingly positive. Everything seems to be coming together just right for Embark. It's in their hands now if they can capitalize on the opportunity they've been given. With so many games failing and succeeding, we can kind of see the trends of what people like and dislike. The final seems to be something that people have been really wanting lately. I do plan on covering tons of more content on the finals, including, news, guides, tutorials, maybe even just montage. The finals content in general will definitely be on my channel, so if you're not already, please subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Things are about to get a little apocalyptic in the arena.
The
Mogs have recovered and respawned.
Where's the third player? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Where's
the flame?
Evasive Slam? Oh, there he is.
Where's the fucking fire?
Oh, it's meteors.
Yeah, but there wasn't any until now, and it was just fire on me. I'm fucking one-shot because I got revived, and there was just floating fucking fire all around me before the meteors came in.
Oh. Okay, my